Hello everyone, my name is Masaki Sanaga. Today I'm going to talk about two major sociological theories, functionalism and Marxism. These theories help us understand how society works and how different groups of people experience the world. To make these theories easier to understand, I will focus on a familiar topic, tourism in Japan, especially in the city of Kyoto. After COVID-19, international tourism in Japan has been growing rapidly. As you can see in this graph, the number of tourists visit Tokyo was 2.52 million in 2020. In 2021, it fell to only 0.2 million due to the pandemic. However, by 2023, it increased to 20 million, and in 2024, it is expected to reach over 40 million, even higher than pre-COVID levels. These numbers show a strong recovery, but behind the statistics, there are social challenges. More tourists means more income, but also more pressure on workers, the environment, and local communities. We can analyze these effects using sociological theories like functionalism and Marxism. Functionalism is a macro theory developed by sociologist Emil Durkheim. It views society as a complex system where all parts work together to maintain stability and order. Each institution, like the family, education, government, and economy, has a role that helps society function smoothly. Even negative things like crime are seen as having a function. For example, crime may seem bad, but it can lead to improvement in law enforcement and public safety. Functionalists often compare society to a human body, just as the heart, lungs, and brain work together to keep us alive. Social institutions work together to keep society healthy. From the functionalist perspective, tourism is beneficial for society. Let's take Kyoto as an example. It is one of the top destinations in Japan for traditional culture, including shrines, temples, and geisha performances. Tourism creates many jobs in hotels, restaurants, souvenir shops, and public transport. It also brings income to local government, which can be used to improve infrastructure like roads, train stations, and parks. In this way, tourism helps support the economy, gives people employment, and contribute to the social balance of the community. Even if tourism causes some problem, functionalists believe it helps society continue to function and develop. Marxism, which is created by Karl Marx, is also a macro theory, but unlike functionalism, it focuses on conflict between different social classes. Marx identified two main groups, which is the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. Bourgeoisie is the owners of business and land and capital. The proletariat is the working class who sell their labor to survive. Marx argues that the bourgeoisie exploit the workers by taking most of the profits, while paying workers as little as possible. This creates inequality, where the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. According to the Marx, this system will not change by itself because the wealthy class controls politics, media, and education. Now, let's look at Kyoto tourism again from a Marxist point of view. In 2023, tourism income increased by 63%. While business owners enjoy larger profits, many workers still earned low wages and worked under poor conditions. Some workers are afraid to speak out because they don't want to lose their jobs. Even though the government gave financial support to companies after COVID-19, many workers didn't receive enough help. Marxists would say this is a clear case of capitalist exploitation. Companies and owners receive benefit, while workers remain in difficult situation. Marxism also introduces the idea of commodification, turning things that are normally free or natural into products for sale. This is happening to tourism. For example, in Nara, wild deer live freely in the city. Tourism tourists come to see and feed them, but some tourists behave badly. They hurt the deer or ignore the rules. The government made some laws, but they are not always effective. This is an example of nature being exploited. In Kyoto, the culture of Maiko has also become commercialized. A Maiko is a young woman who learns traditional Japanese arts like dancing and music. Today, the performances are often just for tourists. Culture becomes a product, not a way of life. This is a form of cultural commodification. Marx also believes that systems like education and religion are used to control people's thinking in capital societies. Schools teach children to obey rules, follow schedules, and not question authority. This prepares them to become workers in a capital system. Most students do not learn to question whether the system is fair or not. Similarly, in the past, religion was used to keep people in line. For example, in 16th century Europe, the church told people that if they didn't buy a Bible or give money, they would go to hell. People followed the system not because it was fair, but because they were told to believe in it. Another example point we should consider is a difference in experience between tourists and local residents. For example, in cities like Kyoto, residents often feel frustrated because of crowded streets, noise, and cultural disrespect. While tourists enjoy their stay, locals may feel that their daily lives are being disrupted. From a Marxist perspective, this can be seen as an example of structural inequality. The tourism industry is shaped mainly by those in power, such as business owners and policymakers who benefit from the profits. Local voices are often ignored or only heard when the problem becomes too big. Even public spaces, such as temples or traditional streets, start to function as economic tools, not cultural or communal places. Local culture becomes a performance for visitors, larger than a meaningful part of everyday life. This deepens the gap between economic interests and cultural preservation. In conclusion, functionalism and Marxism help us see different sides of tourism and society. Functionalists see tourism as something that brings harmony, order, and positive development. They focus on how different parts of society work together, including how choice supports jobs and services. Marxists, on the other hand, Marxists focus on inequality, power imbalance, and exploitation. They argue that tourism often benefits the rich and powerful, while ordinary workers, communities, and the government bear the cost. In reality, both theories offer valuable insights. It's true that tourism supports the economy, but we must also ask who is really benefiting, who is being left behind, and how can we make tourism more sustainable and fair. As future members of society, I believe we should always try to see both the benefit and the risk of development. Only by understanding different perspectives can we create a society that respects not just money and growth, but also people, culture, and planet. Thank you for listening.